Welcome to Mega Stadiums. Today, we're heading to Oxford, where one of English football's most pressing stadium sagas is finally reaching its conclusion. Oxford United, a club that has spent over 2 decades as reluctant tenants in a stadium they don't own, are finally preparing to build a home. From the crumbling terraces of the old manor ground to a vision fit for 21st century football, this is the story of how Oxford United are transforming their future. Let's get started. Oxford United's history at their current stadium begins not with ambition, but with a financial crisis. The club had played at the Manor Ground in Headington since 1925, initially as Headington United before changing their name to Oxford United in 1960. The Manor Ground served the club through their rise into the Football League and all the way to the old First Division in the 1980s. But by the late 1990s, with the ground aging and the club in serious financial trouble, a new solution was needed. The story of what came next is one of the stranger chapters in English football. In 1999, businessman Firoz Kassam took over a club in severe financial distress and resolved the crisis by funding construction of a new stadium on the southern edge of the city at Minchinbury Farm. But the arrangement came with a sting in the tail. Kassam sold the football club in 2006 while retaining ownership of the stadium through his property company, Faroka Group, leaving Oxford United as tenants in a ground named after their former owner. The club would spend the next 2 decades paying rent to a landlord with whom relations were at best uneasy, including 5 winding-up petitions filed by Kassam between 2018 and 2019 over unpaid stadium dues. The stadium itself became something of a symbol of the club's predicament. The Kassam's 4th stand behind the west goal was never built. Construction was halted to save costs when the club were relegated during the build. That missing stand has remained ever since, giving the Kassam a reputation as one of the most unusual grounds in the professional game and leaving the stadium consistently ranked among the worst in England. With a capacity of just 12,500 and poor public transport links on the city's southern outskirts, the ground simply could not support the club's ambitions. The pressure to act intensified when Oxford United won promotion to the Championship at the end of the 2023-24 season, the club's first time in the second tier since 1999. Average attendances climbed from around 9,000 in League One to over 11,000 in the Championship, and even a sellout crowd barely fills a stadium that now looks undersized for that level. The promotion also exposed the financial reality. Without a modern-owned venue, Oxford United simply cannot generate the match day and commercial revenues needed to compete at Championship level and beyond. The club had been working toward a solution for years. In February 2023, Oxford United unveiled their vision for a brand new all-electric stadium, with more detailed plans and CGI renderings released in October 2023. In May 2025, Oxford United and Faroka Group agreed a short-term extension to the existing lease, allowing the club to remain at the Kassam Stadium until June 2028, conditional on the new stadium securing planning permission. In August 2025, Cherwell District Council granted planning permission for the new ground, and in October 2025, Secretary of State Steve Reed confirmed he would not call in the application for further review. After years of uncertainty, Oxford United finally had the green light. The renders show a clean, modern 4-sided bowl with a striking continuous roofline, wrapping all 4 stands in a way that immediately sets it apart from anything Oxford United have had before. The exterior features a facade of warm tones with patterned cladding, and the overall impression is of a compact, purposeful ground, not over-designed but clearly built for atmosphere. After 2 decades of the 3-sided Kassam, it is a significant visual statement. The stadium will be built on a site known as the Triangle, south of Kidlington Roundabout and directly opposite Oxford Parkway railway station, around 10 miles north of the Kassam. The move takes Oxford United from the isolated southern fringe of the city to a location with direct rail connections to Oxford city centre and London Marylebone. The club's transport plan aims for 90% of matchday attendees to arrive by public transport, cycling or on foot, making the proximity to the station central to the entire project. The stadium has been designed by AFL Architects, with structural engineering from Mott MacDonald and project management by Ridge and Partners. The design is a compact 4-sided rectangular bowl with stands of broadly uniform height, a significant departure from the piecemeal development that has characterized so many traditional English grounds. The main stand will include an upper and lower tier with hospitality boxes, and safe standing areas will be incorporated throughout, with around a quarter of seats fitted with barrier systems. The opening capacity will be 16,000, a 28% increase on the current 12,500, with the design allowing for future expansion if required. Crucially, it will be a complete four-sided stadium, something Oxford United fans have not had since leaving the Manor Ground over 20 years ago. The club have also confirmed that Oxford United Women's Football Club will have the new stadium as their home ground, having been prevented from regularly playing at the Kassam under the terms of the existing lease. The stadium's headline feature is its energy credentials. The new ground will be the first fully electric football stadium in the United Kingdom. The roof will carry 3,500 square meters of solar panels, supplemented by air source heat pumps and heat recovery systems. The club estimates this will cut carbon emissions by around 80% compared to a conventionally heated stadium. The project has no gas connection whatsoever. Beyond the stadium itself, the development includes a 180-room hotel, restaurants, conference facilities, a fitness center, a club shop, a ticket office, a health clinic, and a community plaza. The mix of uses is designed to generate activity and revenue 7 days a week, rather than just on match days. A significant shift from the Kassam Stadium model, where commercial operations were entirely controlled by Feroca Group. Taken together, the project is designed to function as a destination in its own right, a stadium at its core, but with the infrastructure around it to make Oxford United financially self-sufficient in a way they have never been before. The total estimated cost of the project is £150 million, covering the stadium and the surrounding development. It is a significant investment for a championship club, and one the club have committed to funding privately. Alongside the construction cost, Oxford United have agreed a Section 106 community contributions package of at least £5.1 million, covering improvements to Oxford Parkway Station, contributions toward the long-proposed Cowley branch line, rail reopening, bus improvements, pedestrian and cycling infrastructure, traffic management and public art in the surrounding area. With planning approved and the Section 106 agreement now formally signed, construction is expected to begin in 2026. Oxford United have outlined a build period of approximately 24 months, with the target of having the new stadium ready for the 2028-29 season. The timing remains tight. The lease at the Kassam Stadium runs until June 2028, leaving little margin for delay. If construction falls behind schedule, Oxford United would face a significant problem with no alternative venue in place. The financial case for the move is straightforward. At the Kassam, Oxford United's matchday revenues are constrained by the 12,500 capacity and the fact that commercial operations belong to Feroca Group rather than the club. The new stadium changes both of those factors at once. A 16,000-seat venue that Oxford United own outright, with a hotel, conference facilities, and year-round commercial activity on site, gives the club a revenue base that the Kassam simply cannot provide. For a club that has spent over 20 years as tenants, that ownership matters as much as the numbers. The bigger picture is one of transformation. Oxford United go into this construction period in a relegation battle, currently sitting in the drop zone but close enough to safety that avoiding it remains in their own hands. They have a growing fan base hungry for a real home and an ownership group committed to long-term success. The club that spent years filing away winding up petitions from their own landlord is now preparing to build something that will belong to Oxford United and to the city for generations to come. When the gates of the new stadium open ahead of the 2028-29 season, whatever division finds themselves, it will mark not just a new ground, but a new chapter of their history entirely. And that's the full story of Oxford United's plans to leave the Kassam Stadium behind and build a new home in Kidlington. Will they get it done before the lease runs out in 2028? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. And if you want to stay on top of the latest stadium news from across the UK, make sure you check out our new channel, Mega Stadiums UK. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next week.